Come in.
Oh, hey, Gage, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Lily.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. How's everything going? Densify and the new product?
It's going well. I mean, we're still struggling to get those sales numbers up. But doing our best. It's been a fun season, just learning and stuff and figuring it all out.
Yeah, it's what we talked about last time. You were saying that it's hard to get the dentist to really understand what's going on with your product and why it's so good for them, even though it's, the most innovative things. And
yeah, it's amazing. Like, cordless tools, you can't get much better than that.
You can't. I had a few questions. So last time we met, you and I talked about what was going on with the dentists and kind of their situation and why they weren't purchasing your product. But I was curious about your sales team and how they're approaching the sale. Because I think that, I mean, I work with NetSuite, I do sales every day.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe NetSuite might be able to, I might be able to help out a little bit with that and help you guys make those sales happen. I think there's a way that NetSuite could help overall with that as well. That'd be good?
Yeah, so what kind of questions do you have about our sales team?
Yeah, so I was wondering, what kind of sales training do you guys use for your team?
We do pretty extensive training for product knowledge. Just want to make sure that they know what we're selling, like all the different types of dental tools that we have, why they're better than the other ones, kind of the value, selling the value of the product. So when they come on board, we do a little bit of that training for about a week or so, and then checkpoints here and there, but pretty much just toss them out into their territories.
Okay, is there any one-on-one coaching or mentoring or maybe even sales training periodically?
No, not too much.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, have you guys ever considered using something like the Challenger sales or spin selling? I know that's what we use spin selling here at NetSuite, and I think that would be a really awesome tool for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of spin and just the different types of questions you have with that, but not too familiar with Challenger sales.
Okay, I think that I was thinking about your situation with the dentist a lot, and I was thinking that maybe implementing something like the spin sale for your sales reps would be really beneficial, because I know that you've been having a lot of issues with communication and that with Dentsply overall. But I think that if you look even farther back, the sales reps might have some training that would really benefit them and push them long run into getting a lot more sales from your dentist. So I was thinking about that, and I had some questions about the problems we've discussed previously with the dentist. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, let's look into it.
So you were talking about how the dentists are oftentimes having to reschedule appointments because of the hygienist. Can you go into a little bit more detail about that and how many appointments, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, let me give you the exact numbers from my notes in just a second. The hygienists miss a lot of work due to wrist injuries from having to put their hands in awkward places and everything. Because these tools have cords, but cordless us.
That's what you guys do.
So we're trying to just give them that picture, but these hygienists, they get injured a lot. They have to retire early. They have to reschedule appointments from going to the doctor or being hurt. I think the stat was they miss 11 days out of the year because of wrist injuries.
Okay, and you were telling me last time I spoke with you that you guys have about a dentist office will have about 10 appointments a day.
Per hygienist.
Per hygienist. So if you're looking at that, you've got 11 days, that's almost, per hygienist, you're looking at a lot of appointments. But how many would you say of those are lost? The retention of those clients. So of the appointments that have to be rescheduled, I think you and I talked, was it less than 50%?
Yeah, it was about 30%.
Okay, so 30% are coming back. So if you've got 33 appointments lost, that's if you've got 10 or 11 days,
right,
and then 30% of the 10 appointments in one day are retained, so that are lost. So that's 33 appointments lost due to rescheduling.
Correct.
That's per hygienist too.
Correct.
And the sizes we talked about, was it 5 or 6 hygienists?
Yeah, typically probably around there.
Okay, so let's just let's go big. Let's say it's 6 hygienists. So you're looking at about 200 clients lost for
Okay.
your dentist every year.
Cool.
I was trying to find some statistics. You would have a better understanding of this just with your market, but I saw that about $300 from an annual client, $300 annually from a client to a dentist's office. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Okay, so if you're looking at that, then you've got 200 clients leaving with $300 of revenue being lost. That's $60,000, which already is almost a 3-to-1 return on investment for your product.
Oh, wow.
So when you guys are selling it to your dentist, you're not only looking at the benefit of it being cordless, it being efficient, it being an innovative product, but you guys also have that 3-to-1 return within 1 year of having those products. And I know that your products are well made and they're well manufactured. You don't need to replace them 3 times a year. So I was just thinking that that would be a really awesome thing to be looking at with your sales team.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else that you and I discussed though last time we met, and it was that a lot of the hygienists were retiring early due to like the pain in their hands. A lot of surgeries
Yeah.
were happening. Can you explain a little bit more on that and what the time frame is looking like there?
Yeah, so they're retiring around age 49,
Okay, 49.
which is very
Almost
early
15 years earlier than the average.
than the average person, exactly.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about that retiring early situation, and it seems to me that retention and that turnover rate is looking really high. And I don't know if you've looked at statistics recently for new hires, but about 50% of new hires are successful. I'm sure you know that with the amount of hiring you do with
Yeah.
your sales reps. And it takes about 2 years of efficiency, so 2 years salary of efficiency to make sure that person is the best person for the job. So I was looking at it, and the hygienist, it was $70,000 a year that the average hygienist is making.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so let's say you factor in those 2 years, you're looking at $140,000 in 2 years at a 50% risk of them even being successful. So on top of that, when you're retaining your employees instead of having that constant turnover rate, or the 15 years earlier turnover rate, you're saving about $140,000.
Wow.
Those dentists are going to be saving that money in 2 years versus the potential of having new hires.
Yeah.
Which I think is another awesome point that you guys should be using for your product, and when your sales reps are going out into the workforce. So the way that I factored that in is that's about $200 compared to the 23, right, for your products. So that return is almost 9 to 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was thinking about it a little bit with how your dentist your product benefits your dentist even more. And I think that there's a really awesome opportunity between NetSuite and Dentsply to be partnering and kind of doing a co-sales pitch.
Okay.
So the way that I foresee it working is we're going into our sales reps would work together, talk about the pitch and this client obviously, but go in there and help them maybe include not only your product but the CRM system that you and I have discussed potentially with Dentsply as well. And my reasoning for that is you and I talked about how the dentists have a lot of issue using like an Excel-based format that gets clunky and a lot of lost information.
Mm-hmm.
And so that it costs about $15,000 for them already.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was thinking about how NetSuite can solve all those issues for the dentist as well.
Okay.
And so kind of creating that package deal for the dentist, and when pitched the right way, they're going to see the benefit that our two companies are providing them and will want to move forward.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, are you seeing the numbers of how this helps the dentists and
Right.
the people that you guys are already gearing at?
Yeah.
So that return on investment for your clients already?
Definitely. I've never looked at it that way.
Okay, and then I was also thinking about, you and I have discussed using a CRM system for Dentsply in the past. And you were telling me that you've had some apprehension about a CRM system. Can you explain that to me a little bit more and maybe what the problem is there and what's going wrong with Dentsply and your communication?
Yeah, we've just had a lot of issues communicating lately and being all on the same page. We've tried a bunch of CRMs, but they haven't really worked out. Let me pull up my notes right here. So like, we have around 80 reps, and they have, or 80 sales managers. We have 8 district managers.
Okay.
And they're working on admin stuff for about 10 hours a week.
Okay.
And then the sales reps, we have 80 of those, and they're trying to do admin stuff for 2 hours.
So you've got your 8 district managers working for 10 hours. That's about 80
and
hours.
they're trying to sort through what the sales reps are already trying to sort through, and it just wastes a lot of time, in my opinion.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot of time. So you're looking at over 240 hours total per week being spent on just administrative discussions.
Yeah, like on call reports, trying to aggregate what is often like less accurate input into these reports, and then send them over to me. And then I'm also getting into conflict with financial and accounting because the numbers just aren't adding up. And
okay, so you're working with your
accountants as well. It just gives me a headache, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not very fun. So you and I talked a little bit about your salaries for your different district managers and for your sales reps. Was it accurate that including all of your benefits, it's about $240,000 for your average district manager?
Yes.
Okay. So if we're looking at that and we're going to break it down by hour to see really what that is costing you, those 80 hours total for your district managers. Let's see, let's do some math. We're looking at about, what was it? Did the math before just to make sure it was all working out. That's about $22,000 of issues.
Okay.
If you break it down by week and by hour and then how many hours they're working, that's a lot of money coming out straight from underneath you just in communication error. And then on top of that, we talked about it was $170,000 for your sales reps?
Yep.
Okay. So you've got $170,000 for your sales reps, and they're working 2 hours a week, you said?
Yeah.
Each of them, so it's about 160. So you've got them working all of that, and it ends up costing, with all of that, about $31,000. So
Okay.
between your communication error, just quantifiably, it's already over $50,000. Does that look about right?
Yeah.
Between your sales reps and your managers?
Sure.
Okay, so on top of that, you have to deal with accountants.
Yeah.
How many hours would you say in a week that you're dealing with your accountants to clarify these issues?
I don't know, like, it's here and there, but probably ranges from like 2 to 4 hours maybe.
A week?
Yeah.
Okay, let's split in the middle and say it's 3 hours a week. If you're valuing an average accountant is, I mean, I looked it up in Pennsylvania, the average income is about $30 an hour.
Okay.
So I'm sure it's different. Maybe you pay your accountants really nicely. You're looking at almost $90 a week. And then by that math, let's do the math real quick and see 22 weeks and $90. About $2,000 per accountant.
Okay.
And your department probably has, you guys are a large company.
Yeah.
So you're working with 5 at least.
Yeah.
Just different people in general?
In my department, sure.
Okay. So let's go with 5, and you're looking at over $10,000. And that's just in communication errors.
Okay, wow.
So if you add all of that, this is completely discounting the amount of personal frustration you're getting out of this, but you're already over $60,000.
Okay.
That is, from what you were telling me about the communication errors between your managers and your reps and them not all being on the same page, you said for the call reports and input and dealing with your accountants, you're looking at already $60,000.
Okay.
So what I was thinking is, you and I have talked a little bit about NetSuite, but I'd love to show you more about it. and how we can solve this issue, this communication issue. And I think that once you have a better understanding of NetSuite in general, you might be able to see the benefit it can give your dentist to see if we could work together on the dentist's sale.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up NetSuite and we can look at it a little bit. If you want to look at it, give it a second while it connects to Wi-Fi. So the two issues that I really wanted to clear up was the accounting issue and the client issue for Dentsply,
Okay.
and the client issue for the dentist. So if you want to go ahead and click on the client information.
Okay.
Sorry, my computer's a double click one.
Okay.
And then if you can see here, all the different clients are listed by alphabetically. You can list them in terms of last modified, all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot you can do here with understanding where each client is. So if you want to click on one of the clients, you can actually add a contact report right there with how it looks, and basically keeping all of your communication in one place between your different sales reps. So I know that you guys have been saying that you're growing into more regions and that your district managers are in charge of a lot more than they have been in the past, and that could help up clarify some client communication. And if you want to click back actually to, if you'll go back one more page, we can look into, there it is. If you want to go ahead and look into the accounting issues that we've been talking about, that it really clarifies everything. So on this original dashboard, you can see where your money is, see who's bringing in, which sales reps are bringing in the most revenue, where it's coming in from, and the clients that they're dealing with. But if you click on this, you get an even bigger or even better understanding of each thing that was sold, or each transaction, that's what I'm looking for, each transaction with your dentist. And I think that this is a really awesome tool for your sales reps, because you've been having those accounting issues, and I know that if you get into accounting issues, you get into even bigger problems that we don't even want to get into right now.
Right.
But just solving that headache with your sales reps, I think would be really beneficial for you guys.
Okay.
So my idea, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about this, is doing a 6-month trial with Dentsply to try out this system. I know you guys have done other systems and they haven't been very productive. There's been a lot of pushback. But I'd love to slowly work that in with your company, maybe start small, and with that, have one of our sales reps come in with you guys to the different dentists and try to do a package sale.
Yeah.
Where we're looking at CRM system and how that's going to help a dentist, but also helping you guys with some sales techniques that are going to show the amazing benefits of your program, or not your programs, of your instruments, your cordless instruments.
Okay.
How does that sound?
How much would a 6-month trial cost?
Of course, the infamous question. So normally for a company your size, it's about $100 a year, or $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
But I was thinking 6-month trial, we'll start with just the 50, and then that is going to help solve these issues we talked about, which it's not a huge return initially, but you're going to see that multiply over years to come. And on top of this actual number that we've got here, the 60, you're losing a headache every day dealing with these accountants. But you're also going to be getting the benefit of the training and the sales of my team. And coming into that together to really enhance what we already discussed that you were telling me the dentists are dealing with, because your return is so profitable for these dentists. And I think that once we can work together to create that benefit, your sales are going to increase tenfold, and then this initial investment of $50,000 is going to be well worth it once your revenue is even higher for the Dentsply products.
So we wouldn't have to do anything extra for the training. We would just become a partnership and work with that.
Yeah, because as you're working with the other NetSuite reps, your team not only would be using the CRM system, and obviously as sales reps, we know how to use our own system.
Yeah.
And so kind of having that perfect blend of integrating this system initially, or this communication system into your company, we're able to help you guys also sell more of your own product.
Yeah.
So it's not just clearing up this communication and accounting issues, it's really taking it a step farther to help grow your sales team, which also obviously helps me
Yeah.
sell some more NetSuite to some dentists.
There you go. Exactly.
So how does that sound? Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah, I think that'll work out great.
Do you want to try a 6-month run? We can even talk about more logistics later if you'd like.
Yeah, let's set it up and then continue meeting and try and figure this out.
Okay, so how about we meet next week to kind of set up and outline what that 6-month trial and that sales rep combination would look like.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right, does next Wednesday work?
Sure.
All
Pencil
right.
me in.
Wednesday, I will call you to confirm a time.
All right, great.
All right, thank you so much.
Nice meeting with you, Lily.
Nice to see you again.